What's up, you guys? Today we're looking at the Zoleo Satellite Communicator. I'm going to be talking about why I use this thing now instead of the Garmin Mini 2, which I used for 2 years. Before I do that, though, I just have to warn you and apologize in advance. When I saw this word, guys, instead of Zoleo, I pronounced it Zoleo. And so this entire video, you're going to hear me saying Zoleo. Now, to me, it's a little more appealing, sounds a little fancier, right? Instead of Rodeo Drive, it's Rodeo Drive, right? And I'm not sure why I did that, but heads up, I'm saying it wrong the entire time. Enjoy that part, but it's an awesome piece of equipment, and let's get to the review. What's up, guys? Scott here. Super excited. Man, there is weather blowing in, so hopefully the audio works. Okay, so today, guys, we're going to be looking at the Zoleo Satellite Communicator. I've had this thing for about a year now, and I wanted to compare it to the Garmin Mini, which I also had for about 2 years before this one. I see a lot of people online asking questions about what's the difference, which one should I go with. So I wanted to talk about my experience, do a bit of a gear review, and kind of go from there. The way I'm going to lay this review out, guys, I'm going to jump on the website and let's take a look at price and plan very quickly. After that, I'm going to show you usage, just how to actually go through the buttons and what they do. Then I'm going to compare it, like I said, to the Garmin Mini and let you know my experience with both and why I'm using this one now. So let's jump over to the website, and I'm just going to Google Zaleo, and rain is starting to fall. I can hear it. Zoleo. All right, so if you look here, guys, pretty much everybody you look at, except for this one scam site, whenever you see stuff for like $60 and it shouldn't be, probably a scam, but $199, all right? So the retail for these things is $199. You can regularly find them on sale for $149. All right, so I got mine for $149, and that, guys, is a huge advantage over the Garmin Mini, which is much more expensive. All right, let's go into their website and take a look at the plans, the monthly plans. Internet's a little slow out in the woods, guys. I was just lucky to have any coverage at all. All right, so here's the plans, monthly plans. And if you look, the basic is $20. That gives you 25 messages a month. That's the one I'm using, guys. And when I've done some longer trips and I've used more than 25 messages, they will simply text me, hey, do you want an additional, 20 messages for like $8 or whatever it might be? And they'll give you some options with pricing. If you don't do that and you just keep using it, it's 50 cents a message past the 25. Now, unlimited plan here is $50. So for $50, you get free unlimited usage. And if you look at the in-between, guys, that's 250 messages for $35. I mean, 250 seems like a lot unless you're just constantly communicating. But these are satellite messages, right? So before we jump off the website, guys, let's look at some of the details. If you look, this is global two-way messaging, right? It's I think it's Iridium satellite. Is that? Yeah, Iridium satellite. Let you know that there's a check-in, which we'll go through. This is a pre-programmed message that you just push, and then it alerts anybody you have set on your list. SOS alerting, that is the button right here that's protected so you don't push it accidentally. That's one of the main reasons you have these things. Dark sky weather forecast, which is very nice. Location sharing, and then more messages at a lower cost, which I was just explaining a minute ago. So while this doesn't have a screen, okay, it doesn't have a screen like the Garmin Mini, it does pretty much all of the other functionality that you would expect. And then when you pair it with the app on your smartphone, you can do maps, you can do weather, you can do messaging, emails, everything. All right, so let's jump in here close, guys, and I'm gonna just walk you through the buttons and what you actually get on the physical device. The first thing you're gonna notice, there's not much to this thing. There's not a lot of buttons. There's not a whole lot. So let's go through. The first button is power. Really the most important. So this button, guys, you're going to hold it down for 3 seconds to turn the device on. Hold it down for 3 seconds to turn the device off. Now, when I push the power button, it's going to give me a display showing how much power there is. Each of these lights is 25%. So if you see all four, that's 100% battery. And guys, I apologize. My hands are filthy. I've been out in the woods a couple days. Oh yeah, so when I push this button, guys, on the camera, they're gonna flicker, but in real life, it looks steady to the eye. So here's a power check. Oh, it looks good this time. It's not flickering. Sometimes it does, I guess. All four came on, guys. That shows 100% battery power. Next down here, guys, is the USB port. This is for charging, just standard little USB in, and then the flap protects it, close it back up. On the top, there's going to be a check mark, right? This check mark is your auto check-in. So what you do is, in your account, you set whoever on your contacts or whoever in your contacts you want to be an emergency contact. When you hit this button, it's going to send a check-in, and it'll let them know where you are and that you're okay. And then the last button, guys, like I said, there's not much here, is SOS. This is the big one, right? So if you get in trouble, and it's protected by this lid so you can't accidentally hit it, you open it up. This is the button for search and rescue. You have to push it and hold for 3 seconds. So watch how this works. No, not doing that. But that is your SOS button. And in fact, guys, on the back here, if you look, there's instructions for how to trigger the SOS in case you need it. So not a lot of buttons on here, guys, but what you need and easy to use, right? Now I'm gonna run through the app real quick, and I just realized I didn't bring another camera with me out here. I'm in the woods, so I'm using my cell phone to record, making it very hard for me to use the app as I record right now. So I'll probably jump aside, either do this here in a second, or I'll do it back at my office and edit that in. But I wanna show you the app, how that works, and how you actually message people. So if you look at the bottom left, guys, the chat button here, that's the one I have selected. This is just text messaging. So this is texting people like you would with the contacts in your phone. I've got my mom here. Check it out. We're checking. Does it work? The Zaleo. Yeah, it works. It's going to be windy, and we love you guys. This is way out of cell signal. My son and I were in the backcountry, able to communicate no problem. Here's one of the check-ins, right? That little check button that's on the unit itself. You push that button, and it sends out your location, I'm okay, to anybody you have selected. All right, so if we go down to the bottom again, the next icon is a little cloud with a sun. This is your weather notifications. This gives you pretty basic, weather notifications, up to date, hour by hour, and you can refresh it as much as you want, but you do pay every time you're looking at this. All right, next one over, guys, is SOS. Same exactly as the unit. You just hold the button down for 3 seconds if it's an emergency. We're not going to do that right now. And then one more over, the classic button for settings. So here are the settings. The top 4 are app settings. The next 4 below that are the device itself, my connected device. You can, how many times do you want it to check for messages? How loud do you want it to beep when it beeps? Do you want it to beep? You have all these different sort of selections. You can maximize for power if you want, or just get all the bells and whistles as they come. All right, that's the app, guys. Super simple. Well, we've seen the price, the plans, all the specifications, how it works, how the app works, and now the comparison between the Garmin Mini and the Zaleo. So the Garmin Mini is much smaller, and they were still trying with that product, in my opinion, to have the screen and allow you to do full navigation on that small little device like you would on the old Garmin inReach. Now, in this day and age with smartphones, you don't really need that small little screen that's really awkward to navigate, and you zoom in, zoom out, and it's just not very user-friendly. It's actually not even very useful in certain situations, all right? So now with apps and everything else that we have, you can have full maps, GPS, everything with no signal, and that's no problem. You can do it for free, in fact. I might do a video on that. If you guys are interested in how to do that for free, let me know. Ooh, there's a bike coming. I hear a bike coming. I might give him a sec, guys, and I'll edit back. Or no, he's just burning out the engine or something. All right, so the big difference for me, guys, is the Zaleo seems to communicate with the satellite better. These are both Iridium satellite systems, right? So they should both have the same system that they are backboning on. However, whatever reason, the antenna on the Zaleo, the way you use it, works better for me. Now, the Garmin Mini, you would set it up right with the antenna sitting up. You have, I think, 100 feet around that, or 100 feet around that you can Bluetooth in for messaging. But it needed to be straight up, and you needed pretty clear sky. The Zaleo, you sit down, and it seems to have a flatter and more open antenna. I don't know if is that a correct, I don't know, open antenna? Doesn't sound very technical, but it works better, guys. I have better signal. If it's cloudy, I can have this thing in the tent, cloudy and I'm still full bars. So I'm not sure why that is, but it seems to work better for me as far as connection. Know that when you use these things, guys, it can take 20 minutes for the satellite to come around, or for us to spin, or however that works. But that satellite only comes around maybe every 20 minutes. So if you're sending a message, you might need to send it and then wait a little while till you hear the beep and it confirms that that message got either sent out or received back. So my Garmin Mini was great, guys. The reason I've switched, the reason I don't use the Garmin Mini anymore and I use the Zoleo, is I lost my Garmin Mini. Too damn small. It's lighter, it's smaller for sure, it's more expensive. And when I was out in the Mount Evans wilderness, guys, I was backpacking trying to go up to the Chicago lakes. In fact, I did, had some great times fishing. And when I was camping, I was tented up in a storm like I'm about to be. And I wanted to communicate, so I had the Garmin sitting out on a rock on a boulder. And I must have just packed up so quickly and not seen it, I guess. I can't imagine doing that with that kind of gear. But it's either gone in the Mount Evans wilderness or it's in my garage somewhere stashed where I didn't remember it. Either way, I now have the Zoleo. This thing works really well, guys. So I hope that helps. If you had any questions or if you had any thoughts about using this thing, stay safe out there. I'll see you soon. Bye.
I'm just stuck here in a dream. Long, long, long. I'm just stuck here in a dream.